necessarily. I think, what I've heard is they don't like the winters up here anymore.
Hear me?
Which I
Where's
cannot,
mine?
I cannot speak to what it's like to be a 75-year-old and deal with the winter.
No, that's what you got from Danny's office.
So,
So you go down there for 3 or 4 months and deal with it.
yeah.
Come back here to home.
Yeah, we'll take it on, but.
Wow.
I don't know, we're all just like, oh my God, so.
Have a go over?
Yeah.
You know, they've got an auction
They've been
set up, they got Townships coming,
treating you good out there.
it's just like.
Oh, yeah.
What's the other one was long?
I see the truck, get rid of them all running.
Can't, not taking anything with them, they're like taking clothes on their back. and they're-
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
They're like taking people apart.
Everybody wants their own agenda.
Like on the market jurisdiction, they're gone. So they're like, you can't, you can look until we get down. So, I'm like, man,
Well, Steve's going up there, hi, guys.
yeah, well, you give them a call.
I would have never expected that.
No, me neither, not in a million years.
Hey,
Hey.
Hi. I'm not that way at all.
Can you open that window?
I'll take that back. I don't, when it was, it's been a while. I mean, I'm just going down and stay with it, you know, but I don't, get it over that.
The outside.
Good.
Yeah, there's nothing more wrong.
Got any of your camera skills?
It's coming, they're moving out.
Okay.
Stay with us for 5
all right, we're gonna call it very quick.
You got an
Yep.
agenda?
We're gonna call the meeting to order.
Trustee Emerine,
Present.
trustee Fee,
Present.
trustee Templeton.
Present.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we don't have any agendas tonight, so we're gonna be kind of flying by the seat of our pants. We do have one announcement that we'd like to make. Community garage sale dates will be May 17th to the 21st. Champion community calendar is coordinated this in the past. Will also be posted on the Champion website. And hopefully this evening, we'll have somebody for zoning or maybe not.
I have no idea. I would hope, but I don't know. I doubt it, because we got some zoning issues to go over, so.
Okay. Rex, do you have anything to add to the Memorial Day update parade or anything?
No, it's just, it's a go and, it's all lined up, ready to go.
They got the road department in for 2 vehicles. Thank you.
You got 11 tow trucks in that? 11?
That's a joke.
And the guys in the cemetery are working hard to try to get things cleaned up. It's been a real mess with the wet weather. Grass sticking to the headstones and finally drying out a little bit, blowing up, cleaning them, getting them ready. Things are really starting to look good over there. And it should be all ready for the parade and everything. I'd like to thank them for the hard work that they put in on that. Let's go right into the department heads. Tommy, would you like to start us off?
Mr. Chairman,
I'm sorry.
can we have, Mr. Sexton,
Sure,
take care of his first, so.
sure. Mr. Sexton, you have the floor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You are now a department head.
Okay, great. Cool. They come with a pay increase.
Pick
or-
one,
Yeah.
we don't care what you
Okay, very good. Well, just here to find out exactly where we are with the new building and what, if there's been any decisions or are there other decisions being made and if
I
we're to a
think-
point where we can move forward with
Yeah,
it.
I
or-
think it's agreed that, based on the preliminary, estimate, you know, it was thrown out at $100 per square foot. And we both know that it could be less than that, once it goes out to bid. But, you know, the bare bones of what we need done is the building for the storage of the road department vehicles,
Okay,
right, Sean?
Equipment, yeah, equipment, yeah.
And
Everything.
what you had initially designed per se, I guess.
okay.
Uh,
So that, what, 120 by 40, I think it was, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So we're good with the last prelim, so we're ready to go forward with construction drawings then?
Mhm.
yes.
Okay.
And then do you know how long it's gonna take you to get the construction drawings complete, and then after that, it will go out to bid? Just approximate.
I would probably say 4 weeks to get the drawings done. Mainly based because all the other things I've got on my plate already. So we can get the drawings done and get the bidding documents, that package put together, then we can be ready to go out to bid.
Okay.
And you can submit for permits at the same time if you want to expedite it. That way they're happening parallel instead of one after the other. Do you guys use Mr. Fenimore for your legal counsel? Okay, so what I've done with other projects that I've done with other townships, I put that package together and I send it to him and he reviews it, make sure we got our ducks in a row.
Yeah.
And then we can
Not
be
that
ready.
we've made a mistake before.
I'm sorry?
Not that we've made a mistake before.
No, well, hey, we're human. So, anyway, I always like to have him review them, make sure we've got all the things that we need and not
Yeah.
any other stuff that we
Yeah,
don't need.
I appreciate that.
And then once I hear back from him, then we can be ready to advertise for bids, yeah, so.
Would it be more prudent to use the prosecutor for that? He's a little faster on the draw.
That's totally up to you.
Yeah, we're still waiting, we got a backlog of stuff waiting for Mark on.
I talked to him today, he called me, he's off sick. He should be back to work Thursday or Friday.
Of this week?
Yes, and he's gonna get on our stuff.
When you get it ready, give us.
Okay, and then we'll figure out,
Yeah.
okay.
Who's gonna be the general contractor on this deal?
Well, it's gonna go out to bid. Okay, so we'll advertise for bids, and then whoever decides to pick that up and put a bid in, then when it's their due, we'll sit down and review them all and make sure that they have all the proper paperwork and see who's got the best and lowest number.
Is
Then
it,
you guys can select based on the bids.
Is it normal for the general contractor to acquire all the permits they needed to construct this thing?
You can do it one of two ways. You guys can pay, so we'll submit, if you wanna do it parallel, like I mentioned before, I could take it down or give it to you, and you can take it down to the Trumbull County Building Department and put it in for plan review. And then, once that comes back, they'll give you some type of an approval. And you guys can pay for that directly. And then it would basically be up to, like, the electrical contractor to get his permit, and, well, you don't have any plumbing, right? And I think the HVAC's part of the general building permit, so, and then I don't know if you guys would actually have a zoning permit fee for that building or not, but, whichever way you guys decide to go, we'll put that information in the instructions to the bidders and let them know that either they have to pay for the permit or it's already been paid for.
Is there permit cost based on, construction estimate or square footage, or,
So On the application for plan review, there is a line item for the cost of the work. And so, basically, at the end of the day, the permit fee is based off of partially the cost of the work and some other state assessments and things that get tacked on there. If we don't know what the actual cost of this building is gonna be until the bids come in, you're not gonna write that in there. But the building department has charts that they use, and they say, okay, based on this and the square footage, here's the number, and that's what they use. And they're probably conservative on those numbers, they're not inflated, so. So whatever you guys decide to do with the permit fees or whatever, we wanna do them before or after, just,
Based on some of the other buildings you've done, do you have a rough estimate what a permit might cost, or don't you wanna go there since they determine it?
I wouldn't even hazard a guess
Okay.
without looking them up. And most of the time, the client goes and files for the permit anyway, and I don't see the invoice for that.
Okay.
Well, we put, excuse me, when we submit this out for bid, how many contractors do you think will, submit a proposal?
That's a hard,
It's our question.
yeah, it is. So I'll tell you based on, we had, two projects that were, out to bid recently, and they both came in within the last 2 weeks, say. One of them was up in Kinsman for their township. I don't know how many contractors came and picked up sets of drawings to bid on it, but we only got 3 bids. This other project down in Columbiana County for a church, we only got 2 bids. And I know that at least 4 contractors picked up drawings. So I don't know if it's a matter of, that they're busy like everybody else, and they just couldn't take that on at the time, or whatever. But in both cases, we've had contractors that were initially starting to look at it, that backed out before the bids were due. They just said, no, we're gonna pass. You know, when you only get 2, it's kinda hard to compare. You got a high guy and a low guy, and there's like no third guy to compare it to, right? So you'd at least like to see 3 bids come in, at least to be able to compare them to each other, but we'll see. I mean, you're gonna have to advertise it in the paper or on the website or whatever it is, and then there's always contractors out there looking for work, so hopefully we can get some good bids in and make it happen.
Tim, this 120 by 40, does this have the, I know we've had several discussions on this, does this have the lean-to for the police department, or has that been eliminated?
I was told it was eliminated.
Okay.
And that other little section that we had at one time added on the other end is gone as well.
Okay.
But we do, tell me if I'm wrong, but there was a little like storage mezzanine inside on that one end. We wanna keep that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, when you, put all this together, what type of, shingles were you going, metal roof or, asphalt?
I think it was a steel roof, wasn't it?
Steel roof, steel side, yes.
Yeah.
And how many doors did we have in this?
4 or 5.
Changed so many times.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think there was,
14 by 14, and I think it was 3 man doors.
yeah, I think that's right.
Anything else you need from us, Tim?
No?
We
You
don't
guys
have
are.
the money. Sit on as our check.
No, I mean, give me authorization to move forward, so I'll do that. So generally, I like to get the drawings done first, and then I tackle all those legal documents we gotta do, and then I'll keep you posted as we go along.
Okay, great.
Now, when you do core samples or anything under the property, like Alternatives used to come out and do core samples?
So with the soil samples, on a building this size, I would say it wouldn't be necessary. If this was a 14-story hospital or something like that, then I would certainly say, let's get somebody like PSI or somebody out here to do those things. But considering what this is and the size of it, and, you know, we're gonna have obviously foundations under where the posts are sitting. But the code allows us to use what we call a presumptive value, and it's fairly conservative of 1,500 pounds per square foot. And you could go out there and drill it and test it, it probably will be higher than that. But if you figure the cost of getting it tested versus an extra 2 yards of concrete, or whatever it happens to be, I'd probably go with the extra concrete.
I think my concern is the gravel that's underneath it. If it isn't copper weld slag, it has the gases in it that would crack the concrete. I'm not really sure what the base is
That was
out there.
partially excavated out of there.
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've gotta, obviously you're gonna be drilling where the foundations, where the posts are. And then you're gonna have to grade where the floor is gonna be, and you're gonna put a vapor barrier down before you pour the concrete. So, I'm not too,
We'll probably prep the ground and put some 304 in there and get it rolled in and
yeah, I
get
mean,
it semi-ready for them to do.
I understand what you're saying about the off-gassing of that material, but I would say that if it's been in there for any length of time, plus putting the vapor barrier down, I don't
It's
anticipate.
some wicked stuff you could have.
Well, I-
20 years, 30 years in the
I've heard some
snow.
stories about some issues with the soil,
Right
right?
here.
Yeah,
Yep, you're
So-
sitting on some of it,
yeah.
yeah. I can't think of anything that's been done there
I can't either,
in the
Doug.
last 40 years that would have required any of that slag to come in there. Can you? You've been here forever.
One thing that
I can't
really
think of
is,
anything
it says,
in a couple of years.
excuse me, mechanic changed oil on the Komatsu the other day, and the filter was actually rusting on the Komatsu. That's how bad,
Sitting in a salt field, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
every time it rains, you're gonna deal with that, that's
Right.
half the problem, that's what we're trying to target is you store tons and tons and tons of road salt out there, and it leaches into the ground and into the water, and so you must, it's like being in winter 24/7, 365, doesn't stop.
so
We
we
undercut
could
them this
get that
time.
concrete.
What's that?
I said we undercutted them this time.
Well, certainly, yeah, I mean, obviously just keeping the vehicles inside is gonna help a ton, right? Keep them out of the weather, you're gonna be able to maintain them better, service them, all that stuff, so. And like I said, there's gonna be a vapor barrier, a plastic vapor barrier under that concrete floor, so it's designed to stop the moisture from coming up.
My grandfather always called that Viscane,
Visqueen, yep,
yeah, Viscane or whatever they
yeah,
put down.
I think it's a name brand, actually,
Oh, they did.
yeah.
Anything else, Tim, that?
No, I think I'm good,
Take the next step.
we can get to work, yeah.
And,
Yeah, we're excited to get moving. It's been a haul.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all right, very good.
Take your time, appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem at all.
let's see.
Yep, we'll be in touch.
See. Okay, we're gonna start with the other department heads. I'll start with Carmen first.
Alright, May 25th, we're hosting a shot clinic that's being provided by the Trumbull County Department of Health. They're gonna offer flu vaccines, COVID vaccines, and booster vaccines. The JAWS, the Life was serviced, Engine 21, Tanker 21 has been serviced. Our EMS grant is moving forward. We got information from the Ohio Department of Public Safety. I applied for a retention grant, which is a 10% grant, no cost to the township. It's over 2 years, so each full-time employee would receive 5% of the regular base pay per year. They wanted some more information, so hopefully we'll get that. The Trumbull County ARP project was submitted, that was for an ambulance. Haven't heard anything back from the FEMA grant yet, that's still out there, that was for an ambulance. And we got some LED tripod lights from the Otarma Police and Fire grant. That's just a reimbursement grant. And then, just so you guys know, well, I'll go with this. I did interviews at TCTC for the public safety kids. They're getting ready to graduate. There's 9 of them in there. 2 of them are probably really good candidates. Two of them, we'll see, they have some work to do, but, you know, like I told the guys, at the station, you know, you gotta realize they're still kids. You know, it's a work in progress. They're coming right out of high school and getting into this. So, 4 applications were handed out, and we'll see where we're going from there. And are you guys aware of the BWC deadlines? And there's also PERP deadline. It's the Public Employees Risk Reduction Program. There's forms that needed filled out by February that weren't done. We got nasty emails, and it's delinquent, and they could give us a citation for that.
Right, I have those emails printed that I got from you.
Okay.
Discuss that.
Well, the PERP is a new one.
Another one today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a totally different project.
Is this under Sedgwick?
That one is, the first one is, yeah.
Well, I believe it, I did not hear from, would be Aberrini that handles that, right? I didn't hear from them on if we were staying there or if we were moving. Did you have any conversations with them?
Sedgwick is, they've got such a large group that, you can't beat their rates.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with that, but did you have any conversations with, Aberrini Group to stay there? Because we would need to make a decision, and I think we'd need a motion and a vote to stay with Sedgwick. It comes up every year, and then we did last year. But I personally, have not heard from them, so I didn't know if one of my colleagues did or not. I didn't know I did not.
I would think it'd be prudent if we did stay with them.
Well, I don't disagree, but, right now, I don't know if there's been any contact between Aberrini and us. And I think that's what she's asking is, do we wanna stay, with Sedgwick? My response to that would be yes, but I am one of 3. I think there needs to be a motion and a vote before somebody contacts her and says that we're gonna stay there. Rex, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree.
So, but I didn't know if, Rob had contacted anybody else on the board. I know I did not talk to him about it, or, Mr. Alberini himself.
And that's Christine who sent those emails.
Can you say that was due February, Tom?
No, that one was due May 1st, and then we have a June 1st deadline also. The 300 AP form, that was due February 1st.
I'm sorry, the 300?
300 AP form.
Who handled this in the past?
John Hickey.
Yeah.
And when John left, who took over?
I did it last year,
Thank you.
correct?
Yeah, there were no accidents for that PERP thing the 1 year, so nobody handled it after the first year after John left, and you handled the MCO stuff.
Well, why don't we make a motion, if we all agree with, that they're the best way to go, make a motion to, re-up with Sedgwick.
Well, you have to decide which of the plans you wanna go with for Sedgwick.
When did you get this?
I believe that was emailed.
Yeah, I sent that to your email a couple weeks ago, month ago maybe.
Yeah, I think it was one.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
So you deal with this a lot more than, I do. I don't have as many employees as you do. Rex, I don't know if you had to deal with this in your prior profession, did you? Or did the county handle that?
I played the 5th.
So do we wanna stay, it looks like here that we're in the, group, retrospective our current program. Do you wanna continue that program? It looks like it's a little bit more expensive. Did you say, Doug?
I think this is where we're at now.
Might want to give her a call though, cause we missed the one deadline to be in the retro, so I don't know if we can still do that or not.
You know, we can pass it, and then if we can, we'll stay in. If we can't, we'll make corrections on it. Thank you. Just so we're moving forward, right or wrong.
Just a group retro.
We can make a motion to go there.
Courtney, and that's where we were, is the group retro, right?
I don't know, I didn't never handled it, other than filing claims that come in for employees, I don't know anything about it.
I believe this is where I'm at with my business.
Okay.
With Sedgwick. It is a little bit more money, but,
They handle it.
yeah, the benefits were worth that, so, that's what I would recommend, that's where I would be comfortable on it.
The additional cost outweighs the risk.
It did for me, so.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put a motion on the floor. We